Welcome to Family and the Feast channel. My name is Janet and this is
Chloe Mangan.
Chloe is our taste tester. Remember all the ingredients and measurements, it will be listed down below in the description box.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hi everyone, in today's video we will be making some red cake or Salara, whichever one you know it as. For your ingredients, here's what you will need. I have some warm water, some warm milk, food coloring, salt, mixed essence, lemon zest. I have here some cinnamon and dry active yeast. I have some orange powder, and this is my homemade orange powder. I have some grated nutmeg, and here I have some melted butter, sugar, my all-purpose flour, and my grated coconut. Now the first thing we're going to do is activate our yeast. Now to activate your yeast, you want to have some warm water. Your water should not be too hot, otherwise it will spoil the yeast and you will have to redo the whole process again, because you will have that strong sour smell from the yeast, and then your dough will end up smelling that way and tasting that way as well. So you want to make sure that your water is like to skin touch. You should be able to bear the temperature on your skin. Now you're going to add that to a mixing bowl, and I'm going to add in also my milk, and remember your milk should be warm as well, and my sugar. You want to give that a stir and make sure that the sugar is melted, not completely melted, but just give it a little bit of sweetness to the water, since our yeast is depending on the sugar to have that nice activation, that foaminess. Now you're going to add in your yeast, and you're going to just mix this to make sure it's combined. Now that that's combined, I'm going to cover this and allow it to sit for 8 to 10 minutes before we start kneading the dough. So guys, now it's time to knead our dough. My yeast is already activated, and I just want to show you how it looks when it's nice and activated. You will see all the foam on the top, and when you smell it, it shouldn't have any sour smell. If you have that strong sour yeast smell, you need to throw this out and you need to redo the whole process. Remember how your water smells? That is how the dough will taste. So if it's sour, you need to throw it out. To this, I'm going to add in my essence, my lemon zest, and my melted butter. You want to add the salt to your dough and not to your yeast mixture, otherwise it will stop the yeast from activating. Now you want to give this a mix and make sure that it's all combined evenly, and you're going to mix this in to make sure the salt is combined within the flour. Now once your salt is mixed in the dough, you will form a little well in the middle, and you will start by adding in a little bit of your mixture at a time. And you're going to spread your finger and just bring the dough together like this. So it depends on the flour you're using. You may need to add about a tablespoon of water more than I am adding, or sometimes the mixture that I gave you, the liquid, will be just enough for your flour. But just in case you have any dry flour on the bottom, you can feel free to add in like about a tablespoon of water to your dough. So now that your dough come together, you're gonna start kneading this for about 10 minutes or so. You want the dough to have a nice smooth texture. So guys, after 8 to 10 minutes of kneading, your dough should be nice and smooth like this, and you just want to form it into a nice dough ball, a smooth dough ball. Now because my bowl is flat, I just flatten my dough, but you can make yours into a nice dough ball. And you want to put some cling wrap on your bowl to lock the air in. You don't want the dry air to get it, and then the dough forms that thin crust layer on the top. So to avoid that, we'll just wrap it seal tight. Now we'll place this on the side and we'll allow it to rise for about 1 hour to 1 hour and 20 minutes until the dough is double in size. So guys, to my non-stick pan, I have my heat on medium high here, and to that I'll be adding in about 2 tablespoons of butter. You want to allow your butter to melt, and to that I want to add in my orange powder, my cinnamon powder, and my nutmeg. We're just gonna fry this up a little bit. I want the spices to infuse in the butter and start to get some of that nice flavors there. You don't want the butter to burn, so you have to keep the stove on a medium low heat at this time. And as soon as you start smelling all those spices coming together, you'll add in your coconut. And you want to start mixing this. You just want to parch and cook the rawness out of the coconut for about 10 minutes or so. And at this time I'm going to add in some mixed essence, and I'm going to start adding in my food coloring. And you're going to add your coloring until you get to the color that you like. Just remember to keep your stove on a low heat at this time. So guys, after 10 minutes I'm going to turn my stove off, and I'm going to allow this to cool down a little bit more. You want it to cool down a little bit. You don't want it to cool down too much before you add in the sugar. So just allow it to cool down for about 15 minutes or so, and we'll come back and add the sugar to this. So guys, after letting your coconut cool down for about 15 minutes, you're going to add in your sugar now. Some of them will melt, and you may see some of them, some of the sugar crystals still. Don't worry about that. It will melt when it's baking. It's really nice to have those crystals as well in it. It's what gives you that nice juiciness in the Salara. So this is all done here. We're gonna head over to the counter and we're gonna start preparing our dough now. So guys, my dough has risen really nice. I'm gonna punch this down now here. And we're gonna turn this out on our counter. And I'm just gonna knead for a few minutes. We're just gonna take out all the air that's trapped in the dough. And now I'm gonna divide my dough into 2. And we're just gonna neaten it up a little bit here. So guys, we're gonna try to roll our dough out into a rectangular shape, and to help me do that, I usually form my dough into a little log first, and then I start rolling it out like this. So guys, one thing I forgot to mention is that you'll need an egg wash to brush the end of your dough here. You're just gonna brush the ends. This will help the dough to seal in and act in all the juice that will release from the coconut and not make a big mess in your oven. So now that we've rolled out our dough, we're going to divide the coconut mixture into 2. And we're going to start by spreading this out evenly to the dough. You don't want to put too much, or you don't want to put too little bit of coconut. You want to make sure that it's evenly spread out. Now what you're going to do is roll from one end You're gonna try to get the ends first before the middle. And you want to create like a log here, a tight log. Try not to leave any space. Once you have this log here, you're going to try to bring it in the front of you. And from here, you're going to tuck in the ends. Let me turn it this way so you see. You just want to tuck in the ends to the bottom here, creating that neat edge here. And you'll do the same to the other side. And we have enough space just in case the sauce runs out. We have enough space here to catch it. So now that we have that log there and it's all rolled out, you want to pick it up and be gentle, and you're going to flip it on the side here just to get this edge here, and we're going to start pinching the sides here in the pan. Now just roll it a little bit so that that edge be on the underneath of the Salara. You can just tap it a little, just to spread it out and make it nice and neat. Now I'll place this one on the side and I will work on the other one, and I'll show you guys when I'm ready with the next step. So guys, now that I finished rolling out my Salara dough, I am going to place this on the side, and we're going to allow it to sit for 30 minutes until it doubles in size again before we put it in the oven. So we'll place this on the side and I'll see you guys back in 30 minutes. Just remember to cover your dough as well. You don't want the top to get that dry crust layer. Otherwise, when it's in the oven and it's ready to bake, it will crack up and it will look really ugly. So try to make sure and cover your dough. After letting your dough rest for that extra 30 minutes, we're going to place this in the oven to bake at 375 degrees. We will bake this for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until the top is nice and golden brown. So guys, after 30 minutes, I removed this from the oven, and I'm going to brush some butter. You want to brush on your butter as soon as it comes out the oven to avoid the top from being too hard. The butter will help you get a nice soft layer on the top. So now we'll just allow this to cool down before Chloe try it, and she will tell you guys how good it is. And I'm gonna also wait a bit until it cool down to cut into it so you guys see how nice it is on the inside. So now that our Salara is cooled down, it's time to cut into it and show you guys how good it is on the inside. And Chloe is so excited to try it, so
Yummy.
and here is the nice layers, and as you can see, it's still so soft and juicy. Look at all those juice there.
Yummy.
Same. So we're gonna cut into this now and let Chloe try it, and she will tell you guys how good it is.
You see the other layer. I see the other layer. Oh, yummy.